This segment of Naperville Sports Weekly is brought to you in part by the Naperville Sun.
Well, Adam, we're about a week into the season. You've seen some out of your team in competition. How do you feel about what you've seen so far?
I feel pretty good about what we see so far. Like I've mentioned we've got a young crew in the fact that we've got 3 seniors who are great leaders. Then we've only got 4 juniors, 5 if you include my goalie, and then I've got 4 sophomores. So in terms of that, I feel like we're young in terms of varsity experience overall. When it comes to club playing experience, off-season experience, they work pretty well together. And really, I don't feel like it's been as big of a step as some people might think it would be. And we're playing pretty well so far as a team. I'm really happy after 5 games.
And is it one of those things where when you talk about the numbers in the program, what you guys have seen from the growth from these last 2 classes as far as having in the teens, I would imagine that's a good thing for you to kind of looking toward building that program and building the numbers up here.
Yeah, absolutely. In the past, when we had smaller numbers, you might have more even teams where we had 6 seniors, 6 juniors, things like that. But now that we have larger numbers coming to our program every year, thanks to our feeder teams, we're able to not just get more numbers, but we're able to get a lot more quality to where in the past we might get not as many numbers, so you didn't have as many guys that you could pull up or down. Sure. Now we're able, like I said, to pull up those 4 sophomores. They're all ready to play at that varsity level already. And also do the numbers, it's recruiting itself. So we're getting a lot more quality just because kids are playing at a younger age and they're encouraging brothers to play younger as they come into our program too.
And I would imagine for you, having such a young team, only 3 seniors, has that changed your job as a coach at all?
No, I don't really think so. Just due to the fact that I have been assistant coach for 2 years prior to last year. So even those juniors, I had already coached for a year at the JV level. So it helped kind of get my philosophies in order. And my assistant coach, Brandon King, has done a nice job helping get those guys ready to play varsity. So I don't think it's changed my job too much. If anything, I have less numbers of seniors. But at the same time, the senior leadership I have between those 3 seniors, Will Russell, Alex Stoll, and Brian Depew, has been very solid. So if anything, it's helped me out because they're helping teach those young guys along with myself and assistant coach King.
Will Russell, in the couple games we've seen you guys this year, he's really a sniper, kind of from mid-range, even from deep a couple times. What's it like having a guy like that in your guys' offense?
Will, since he was a freshman, has always had a cannon of an arm. You never really know what's coming. He just snaps back so quick and brings the ball through that it can fool a lot of goalies. You don't see it coming. I think teams now know about it because he's been around, obviously, for a few years in the Naperville area. So they're looking for it, but you still don't quite know when it's coming. So he's a quick draw shooter, and he throws it so fast that it's very hard to pick up the spin or to see where the ball's going. So yeah, he's a nice weapon to have for sure.
When you mentioned familiarity, as far as a lot of coaches that coach together and know each other really well, know a lot of strategies, how has that kind of changed the game, over the past 5, 6, 7 years when everyone becomes more familiar? I would imagine more strategy comes into play.
Absolutely. I think the biggest thing that I've had to learn as a head coach is making more adjustments than I was used to as a JV coach. Just the teams are better, especially in this area. We have one of the toughest sectionals, having the 203 and 204 schools especially. So you have to be good at not just having one game plan, but having many and making sure your players know that. And I think the biggest thing that comes into play is defense, because having coached during the offseason with a lot of these other coaches from the area, you do have an idea of what they're going to do and you have an idea what their weapons are, but it's like a chess game. Even if you think you know that other team and you know that other coach, you have to be able to anticipate what they're going to do and be able to stop it right away before that they get too in deep on you.
You mentioned defense. John Hederman, your goalie, a junior, has stepped up big, for this program. What does he kind of bring to the table? What is his skill set that really makes him stand out?
John's strongest thing isn't just that he has good physical skills, it's his communication piece. He's one of the best communicating goalies that I've coached at the high school level at Neuqua Valley. And he's very good at letting my guys know where the ball is on defense, especially if their back is turned, if they're guarding someone in a pressure defense. He's good at helping direct traffic on counterattacks, whether it's defense or offense. He's got good vision down the water, and he's really good at ball placement. So I think he's been able to stop a lot of shots in addition to that, which really leads him to be a very solid goalie pretty much at all aspects, because not only can he help out at stopping the ball, but he's helping us out on offense too.
You mentioned offense, Simon Shatinsky, a guy that, pulled out the behind the back against Wabanzi that we saw. That was pretty neat. I would imagine he's a factor. Who are the couple other guys on offense that really seem to get you guys going?
Well, other than that, Alex Stoll also plays center quite a bit in center defense. He's a guy that didn't start playing for us until he was a sophomore, but every year has done some off-season work to get ready. He's a very solid player, and he's he's very good in terms of offense and defense. So he's one. Brian Depew is a state 500 freer. It's great to have him on the team because he's been great on the counterattack. He's also very smart defensively. And in addition to that, my two other juniors that have seen a lot of time at starting, Zach Finkelstein and John Duesenberry, are also very solid defensive players, but have also come a long way in terms of pitching in on offense as well.
A lot of the names you mentioned there, I recognize, from the swim season. I would imagine pulling more guys from that swim program that has been so successful has to be something that you guys like to do moving forward.
Absolutely. The majority of our players in the past have all been swimmers. We are finding that as our feeder programs go, we're getting some non-swimmers, which is great as long as they can swim. I don't care where their ability comes from. But Coach Allen's team for Neuqua Swimming has done an awesome job of giving us great quality swimmers just due to the program that we've had going here for a number of years.
One thing that seems to factor, especially in the boys' game, is ejections. Not only keeping your team's ejections down, but when you have the man advantage, converting. How big is that special teams play and trying to figure out how to take advantage of it?
Well, I think ejections play an important role because it's not like hockey in the sense that you get a long time to set things up. You really get 20 seconds out of that shot clock before that guy comes in. So ejections play a large role in basically drawing ejections to deny goals. And if you can cause ejections for that, there's a reason they give you 3. As a lot of people maybe watched the Olympics this summer, most of the guys on the team had 2 or 3 ejections. And if you do a good man-down defense where you deny those goals, that ejection is null and void. Essentially, the only time I really like to see ejections is if someone's at center defense and that person's right in front of the goal, because the center defender has the highest percentage chance of scoring. If you can cause an ejection there and draw that exclusion and not allow them to score on that man down, that's solid. Like, for instance, over the weekend, we played Naperville Central. We had 10 ejections. However, they were only able to score on 1 of them. And I think although they beat us in that game, we were obviously able to stop out of those maybe 9 ejections. Maybe 7 of those would have gone in. We're talking a completely different game.
Exactly. You guys have the Fenwick tournament this weekend, something that's been, a staple in the boys water polo scene the past 4, 5, 6 years. What are you expecting out of the guys going there?
Well, we're excited that we're invited back every year because literally we see teams from north, south, east, west, and from the city. The 2 teams that we're guaranteed to play that are in our pool are St. Patrick's and Brother Rice. 2 teams we played in the past. Brother Rice will be tough as always, but they lost their best player from last year, Mike Mulcrone. I know their goalie's got another year better. We expect it to be a physical game, and same with St. Pat's. These are teams that are used to playing smaller 6-lane pools where the center work is more important than the driving, whereas we may drive and play faster. So we know that we have to use our speed to our advantage in these games. However we play in those 2 games will really dictate who we play from there on out in the next 2 games on Saturday.
Adam, in talking with you, I kind of get the sense that, you realize what you have here and you guys are trying to build something, I guess. Is this the type of team you expect to continue to get better as the season goes on?
Oh, absolutely. Especially with us being a young team, we're still learning from each other a little bit, and having that awesome senior leadership from those 3 gentlemen and from the goalie, John Hederman, has allowed us to really, from day one, practice well every day and grow every day. Not just at the varsity level, but there's even some sophomores that have shown a lot of promise this year in terms of moving up to varsity later on in the year. So we're looking to not only take the 10 guys we have now, but hopefully supplement that as the year goes on, even with some of the freshmen we have that already have 3, 4, or 5 years playing experience coming into high school, which is something that every high school coach really looks for. So I think we will get better. We do play Naperville North and Naperville Central later in the season. We hope to give Naperville North a better game, and we look to make it even closer to Naperville Central on April 11th.
Definitely. Well, your goals are set and in mind. Thanks for giving us time today.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.